Hi, I'm Nurse Smithvillian, President of Autoscope European Car Care. You know, Texas heat is no joke. We hit 100 degrees regularly in the summertime, and you really want to have a cooling system that's working properly. You definitely do not want any problems being straight on the side of the road in the summer in the heat. So we've got a few tips. Inspect your coolant system. Make sure that it's topped off. There's a minimum and a maximum. You want to be really in between them. Check your belts. Make sure they're not frayed. If it's over 4 or 5 years old, replace them before they break. You know, check your battery. The battery actually dies in the summertime because of the heat. Actually, the heat dissipates and kills the battery, and sometimes it lasts through the winter where you cannot start the car because the battery levels got so low. So please, let's check your battery, the condition. Make sure there's no corrosion on the terminals because they zap your power. Also, make sure your charging system's properly charging the battery. Sometimes too low or too high, or even ripples in the system will discharge or undercharge the battery, and that's a problem. You think you're fine, but the car will not start. The hot pavement, well over 180, 200 degrees plus, is really hard on these tires. So make sure you check the proper inflation, because underinflated tires really cause a lot more heat and they degrade the tire very quickly. Make sure the tire is actually young enough. In other words, if it's less than 10 years old, after that, your tire actually starts to deteriorate, the rubber itself, and it's unsafe. And make sure that your thread wear is good. If it misaligned the car or front end, will actually make the tire wear a lot faster in the summertime. So make sure your tire pressures, your tire wear, and if you have a spare, which you may not, make sure your pressure is properly inflated in the spare in the back, or you have the proper inflation. And of course, nobody can live without air conditioning in the summer here. And make sure you're properly charged. The refrigerant, over time, it does get a little bit of a seepage and it's not topped off, so it doesn't cool well. So also the cabin filters, very important. The cabin filters are actually filtered just like your home, and debris gets in there, dust gets in there, sand gets in there, and it restricts the flow of air. Of course, that makes a problem, and also overworks the blower motor, then shortens the life of that as well. So make sure your AC is properly charged. Make sure it's blowing full volume. If you ever feel like the volume is not right, you probably have a stop-top filter. And sometimes the refrigerant itself is actually lower, which makes left side to right side, some cars, hot and cold. So if you have any of those issues, let us know, we'll take care of it. Or come on in, let's check it for you anyway. One of the most neglected items on cars today, almost every one of them, is windshield wipers. Since we don't get as much rain, nobody really checks the condition of the wipers. And then when you do need the wipers, because it does rain occasionally, then it smears, or there is no rubber left. It scratches your windshield. So make sure you replace your wipers once a year, maybe at the most twice a year. The rubber actually deforms, and when you need it, it's not straight, so it doesn't scrape across the windshield well enough. Make sure your wipers are good. You don't want to get stuck someplace on the trip that you're taking, and all of a sudden, I don't see myself where I'm going. So, and you can't find the wipers everywhere either. They're specialized, a lot of them. So make sure you check your wipers. And if you have any questions, please give us a call or stop by. I'll be glad to talk to you, see what, if any of the issues that you have a problem with, and ensure that you're going to have a trouble-free summer in a very hot Texas heat. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.